We live in a world where information is everywhere. Wisdom seems harder to find. Somewhere along the way, we've become embarrassed to admit we don't know something. But maybe that's exactly where God wants us to start. Hey everyone, Chad here. So I was listening to a podcast recently, and Micro, from Dirty Jobs, was on there, and he made a comment that really stuck with me. It wasn't about faith specifically, but it sparked a thought that I haven't been able to shake. He was talking about how we live in a time of information overload, yet many of us become embarrassed to admit when we don't know something. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how true that is. We carry around a device, like our phone, that can answer almost any question in seconds. We can search the internet, watch tutorials, ask AI, or read thousands of opinions on just about anything. Yet with all that information, many of us have felt more overwhelmed than ever before. Somewhere along the way, we've convinced ourselves that we should always have an answer. So we hesitate to ask questions because we're afraid someone might think we just don't know. So instead of learning, we pretend, or instead of seeking wisdom, we just settle for information. But God never asked us to know everything. He asked us to trust the one who does. In James 1:5 it says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him." I love that verse because God isn't shaming us for not knowing. He doesn't criticize us for asking. Instead, he invites us to come to him. There's a big difference between information and wisdom. Information just fills your mind. Wisdom directs your life. So this week, don't be afraid to say, "I don't know." Whether that's asking someone with more experience, admitting you need help, or simply going to God in prayer, remember this: humility isn't a sign of weakness, it's often the first step towards wisdom. As always, I love and appreciate every one of you, and I pray that you gain some type of boldness and some type of encouragement through these messages. God bless, and until next time, stay tuned to the frequency of God.